So I would like to understand first from all of you that in your mind, first of all, it's not a monologue. Okay, I'm not going to say something like which you are going to listen without saying anything or without taking part in the discussion. Basically, it's a one-on-one. It's not a like one monologue kind of session. It's like I want that few things you would tell from your understanding, that what do you understand, what do you think, or what inference you guys can take out. And then if there is anything wrong in that, I would like to correct you and let you know what is the right thing to do. Okay, so out of all of you, like how many of you have actually deal with the raw data, and what kind of problems that you have faced so far, in any sort of problems with while dealing with the data, either in, yeah, like if you are in a college, then maybe you might have dealt with the open source data, or if you are working in the company, then you might have come across the real time data as well. Then what exactly challenges that you have faced so far? Anyone would like to let me know about it? Okay. Okay. One person just answered that we have seen most of the data, like we just start do processing of the data. We find out the data from the Kaggle and we start processing the data like fixed steps. Yeah, most of the people do the same thing actually. So I tell you like what happens, like what I used to do when I was studying data analysis or I was trying to sort out the machine learning problems. I used to get the data from the open source, and then after getting the data, I used to read it through the Python and I just process it one by one, like a fixed step I had. I was aware that okay, I had to remove the missing values. I have to actually filter out the things. I have to do the data engineering, or sorry, feature engineering, everything. Like there was a fixed step that I used to follow in almost all the problems. And then what used to happen is I end up with the same result with all types of problem, which is the worst thing that I had ever done. And slowly, I started reading out the problems. Okay, the problem is different. Then might be the data analysis steps that we are going to follow. That might be different. But question is like how to know. How to know that which data processing step or data cleaning step has to be followed or maybe to be known. Okay, so these things we have to understand in today's session. I'm going to cover that what is data analysis basically, how do we do data analysis, what are the types of the data analysis. Okay, so let's start from that. Can you see my screen? Anyone can give me confirmation, please? Okay. Okay. So when I say exploratory data analysis, as it's clear with the name that I am talking about, that my data should explain the features of my problem, or maybe it should be able to understand that what inference I would like to take out from my data. Okay, otherwise there is no point of data analysis. And what's the need of the data analysis? We get so much raw data in almost every day or every sort of problem. And if you are not sorting the data, you are going to apply any machine learning algorithm or deep learning algorithm to the complete data set, and then it will be a problem, because you are consuming too much of resources in the training the model or maybe to analyzing the result, not just computer resources, as a human resources also. So the thing is, why not to first sort out that which data is actually important? It's just the same thing that we organized our life in the daily routine as well, right? Similarly, we actually sort out few things which is important for us, which can actually give me the final information. If not, then I just skip it out. Second thing, if I talk about the businesses, there are lots of decisions are being taken in every business every day. Like if you are working in the retail store, there you might have to decide that should I sell this product or not. Okay, or maybe you have to actually, if you have to not just decide that okay, this product has to be sold. You have to actually figure out that will my sale go up after a certain time or not. If you're working in a marketing company, that you might want to figure out that which marketing strategy might work. If you're working in the real estate sector, then you might want to predict okay, which property will have the highest prices over the years. If you're working in the stock market, then also you want to know that what are the daily ups and downs of the share market. Okay, same thing with the almost every, if you are working in the healthcare also, there are lots of human errors that we find in analysis, in predictions, or in maybe diagnosis. So for that also we are making the solutions which can automate the process. And for that we have to first understand that on which data or in what basis I am going to actually predict my result. If I am saying I'm going to do a diagnosis, even if you visit a doctor and you say that okay, I'm having this problem, then you have to basically explain everything. Does that problem you have faced before in the history, or maybe what are the symptoms that you have to explain everything. You actually explain one by one, then only doctor come to the conclusion. Okay, and now at this place we are just removing the part of doctor, and we are actually including a software or program that is built on the top of machine learning or AI, I would say. So for that I need only relevant data. Like I give you one best example for that I always take. Have you ever come across any fantasy game so far? Any fantasy games like Dream 11, or maybe rummy, online rummy games, or like there are lots of games no that we play online. We win some amount of money online, and that they say that okay, it will be you can withdraw it at the same time and put it in your account at the same time, right? So if you have come a Candy Crush, okay, so such kind of things you might have seen before as well. And you know what is the data that people are generating, and you know how this is the most or highest demanding um, job right now, where data scientists are, or data analysts are needed. Why and how, I tell you. Like just to understand that what kind of data that they are getting every day, and how we can sort that out, or how I would say this data can actually help us. Okay, so suppose you are running such company, in that you are going to make your own team online, and based on your team, you are basically, what you are trying to do, you are going to predict that if that person will play again or not. Should I give some discount to that person, or maybe some amount of online or wallet money, so that that person can keep playing? Okay, for that, or maybe I would like to know that what kind of people I should actually display my ad if I am going to market it. Okay, so in that case, I if a user register, I would be having few amount of data. Like I will be having about the name, maybe name, where the person is, city or country, or the interest area, the age group, lots of other things, and what time stamp that person started, when did he ended, or how many games that he has played, how much time that person is spends, lots of other things, maybe gender as well. Okay, so in that case few things might be important for me. Like gender might be important, because based on the gender, preferences changes, like what kind of games a person would like to play. Okay, and maybe locality also changes, maybe their income status also matters, because if they have more money to spend, they might be interested. Or maybe another way, if they have more money, they might be busy in making money, they won't have enough for spare time to spend on the online gaming websites. Okay, so you have to figure this out. Okay, you have to basically figure out that okay, for my data analysis, for my machine learning model, these features are actually important. And among that also there are lots of possibilities. Might be you are capturing the data every second, and in every second data might be some points get missed. Okay, maybe some human error, maybe some internet was down or server was down, so for 5 minute data was missing. Okay, 5 minute data, you mean maybe more than 5,000 rows out of 1 lakh data if I'm talking about. So you have to first see, like, is actually, does it matter, like each fetch feature, does it matter, how does it matter? that thing we actually analyze and see in the whole session. Okay, so now let's talk about the types of data analysis. When I said, okay, like we are going to do some data analysis, and this is the reason that I'm going to do some analysis, what are the types and why I'm dividing it into types? That's also a question that you might ask to me. First of all, this is not a very hard deadlines or hard things that, okay, you will keep data mining first, then statistical analysis, then diagnostic, then predictive. But generally, for any machine learning model, these are the 4 types of data analysis that we perform. Okay, so if I talk about the data mining, generally when we have the raw data, we just take the raw data with me, and I'll try to transform the data in such a way that it can be in the form of Excel sheet, maybe in the form of a structure, or maybe in such a way that I can process it further. I can, if I'm using Python or maybe some other programming language, I can process that data. You might be thinking, how is it possible? Like every time I get the data in Excel sheet only, right? Then how can you say this? I have to do the data mining. Do you really think in the most of the companies you get the data always in the Excel sheet or maybe in the database as well? You have to actually save it in the database. You don't get the data as it is. I give you one more example. Have you taken any ride from Ola or Uber, which is pretty obvious though, but have you taken Ola or Uber? Any cab services so far?
For the Uber statistic?
Sorry?
You said for Uber statistic?
Yeah, Uber taxi I'm talking about. Yeah. So in that case, we have our app in our mobile, right? In that we just put the destination, we put the detail that from where that cab or taxi should pick us up, and we can see the fare details, everything we can say. So this is how the company is actually capturing our data. Okay, this person wants to go from here to there, and that much is the frequency that person is trying to visit, and also timestamps, locations, age, or payment method as well sometimes. Okay, and also type of like ride you are taking: auto, you are taking cab, mini cab, macro cab. Like there are lots of options are there, right? Bikes as well. So everything is being captured through the app, and that detail will send to the data mining process. Okay, or I would say, first I have to figure out that maybe some data might be missing, or some is maybe there is some chat. Okay, that is not important for now. No, if I want to predict that what will be the fare, that chat is not important, so I can skip that out or I can remove that. Okay, this complete process comes under data mining, where I'm removing the missing values. I'm actually trying to handle it in such a way that I can just keeping the important information with me. Not exact important, but like out of 500 rows, I am actually collecting maybe 400 or maybe 450 rows, just completely irrelevant one, vague idea I'm having. Okay, I did that. Okay, I sort that out. I just did the data mining. Now what? Tell me one thing. If you have or you are using the app, okay. So in that case, what is happening here? I have some data, but can you generalize this data in such a way that that I can use it for the whole country or maybe for whole world to actually identify the final result? Or maybe let's suppose you have made a conclusion that fare will be very high in the Bangalore location. Okay, but fare will, and also at the time of the office, like morning 9 or 10 a.m, and in the evening 6 to 7 or 8 p.m, the traffic will be very high, so prices will be very high, you have predicted for the Bangalore location. But suppose someone is staying in the hilly areas, okay, that is not like a metro city, or that is not a city where people actually, lots of people are working in. Do you really think that this prediction or this assumption will be valid there in that case in the another location? Anyone? Just think that it's like it's nothing technical or complicated. It's just a simple question that I have asked. If I am saying that cab has highest fare at the Bangalore location in the morning and the evening time, because there most of the IT people work, does the same applicable to the hilly areas? What do you think? Yes. Okay. I just ask you, like, request you to actually participate. All of you participate in the session so that it will be more interactive and I can understand where or what are the things that you might go wrong with. Yes, Vede, you were saying something. Okay, so yes, actually the timings will be different. So I need, basically in that case, I need something through which I can be assured that whatever results I'm concluding with my data analysis, it will be applicable everywhere. It should not happen that, okay, this data analysis or whatever I'm doing is applicable only to one problem or to one geographical location or maybe to one ethnicity. There should not be a limitation to that. So and as a human, we can't just take the assumption directly. What we have to do is we have to do the statistical analysis to basically prove it mathematically, that whatever assumption I'm taking or whatever prediction I'm making, it should be actually correct. Okay, that's the reason we do the statistical analysis. So in the statistical analysis, we just try to find out some mean, median, mode, average values, and also, oh, sometimes we conduct the statistical test to check if my hypothesis is valid or not. So by doing this, we can actually find out the patterns. Okay, now I have find out the pattern, I have drawn some conclusion. Now what next? What can I actually do? So I have figured out the pattern, I have did the data mining. Now my next step should be that I should be aware, like, okay, this thing happened, I noticed that. I give you one more example. At the time of Diwali, the sale increases in India, right? But in other countries, might be sale will increase at the time of Christmas, not on Diwali, because Diwali is an Indian festival and Christmas is generally not considered as an Indian festival. Okay, so I would say in that case, I have find out the pattern. Okay, the sale was very high in the month of October and November in India region, and for other countries, let's take the US. In the US, the sale was very high at the time of Christmas. This I can do with the help of statistical analysis. But my question is, what to do with this information? What should I do with this information? I should be able to understand why this happened. Here I'm upfrontly telling you the answer, okay, that it is because of Diwali, it's because of Christmas. But might be there is some use case where you are not aware at all. And let's talk about the startups. No, sometimes you might have seen, you suppose you're working in a startup, okay, and you are a data scientist and you are working on making a marketing strategy for some company, okay. What you are trying to do there is, you are basically analyzing that this particular month sale was the most, in this particular month sale was the least, that you have observed. But your next thing should be why it happened. If you are not able to understand the reason behind it, what's the point of analysis? Right, there is no use if you are not able to understand why this happened. That's the reason we do the diagnostic analysis. Now question is how to do that, which is a valid question. So basically, we do diagnostic analysis by finding out the patterns, by drawing the graph, or I would say the visualization, so that I can see and understand that how and why it happened. Because if I see, maybe I'm checking out the sales and I can see the sales in that are high in October month in India. In US, it was high in the December month. Then I tried to figure out, is there anything particular that happens in the month of October? I'll try to understand, identify answer through the visualization, through understanding the domain problem. This commonly called as a diagnostic analysis. I did the diagnostic analysis also. I understood that, okay, why this happened. What next? Okay. What next? What do you think I should do? I understood this point that sale is very high in the month of October in India region as compared to December month. Okay. What to do with this information? Can anyone tell me? What can I do with this? Mm-hmm. Anyone? It's simple, no? That I have analyzed that why it happened. Now my as a data scientist, my goal is to predict something, or maybe to help to increase the sales. If I'm talking about the businesses, then I'll try to predict some certain solutions based on the data that I have analyzed. Based on my conclusion, I'll draw some inference. Okay, conclusion means you are trying to make some decision on the existing data. This is called conclusion. Okay, this is visible and you are making some decision over that. Inference is the decision is not, or sorry, the data is not clear, or nothing is clear. You are taking out the inference out of it. Okay, this is called predictive analysis. When you are using the existing data to predict, okay, I can understand that, okay, October month has the highest sale for that particular reason, or I would say in India, because it's a Diwali. Okay, let's do one thing. In the next year, when October will come, I'll keep high stock and I'll put more discounted prices so that my sale will be very high, or maybe I can run the campaign to increase the sale. Are you getting this point? How this predictive analytics is helping? And also, this you can figure out. Apart from that, you have to figure out one more thing, that how much stock I have to keep, or how much sale it can go up. Okay, there are lots of things or factors that you have to evaluate, or you have to extract out by doing your predictive analysis. And in that case, it includes machine learning as well. Some sort of algorithm it will include. Getting it now?
Yes, yes.
Okay, cool. Okay, I understood the types of the data analysis. Now let's understand the phases of the data analysis. Okay, so there are three phases, and these are not the hard coded again. It's not like it's written in a particular book. Okay, there are three phases. You have to go step by step. I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll do that after that. Okay, it's not like that. When I'm saying the phases of the data analysis, it means there are three phases. I'll first do the data wrangling. In the data wrangling is basically to make the data in such a way that it can be processed again. Okay, so it's like if you are trying to convert the data format. Okay, you are, if there's something in the string format, you are converting into numbers. If there is something there are some missing values, you are trying to remove that, you are removing the duplicate values. Everything comes under the data wrangling. Now you do the data visualization. My data is clean now. Let's do the visualization. Okay, so I'll do the data visualization after this. Now the third thing is feature engineering. After data visualization, I have to actually delete some features. I have to delete some features in such a way which are not important, and also keep very important features. First thing, that is called feature selection. Another thing that I can do is, let me take one example to explain this. Have you worked on the house price prediction ever? House price prediction?
No, we have not worked on the house prediction, but we have seen some videos on YouTube. Just we can evaluate some topics regarding the house predictions.
Okay.
So, what do you want to ask actually what you want in this house click regarding the discussion.
I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that point. Okay. So if you have to predict the prices of houses, okay, in a particular reason I am making fixed, okay, like I am taking, like, okay, there is some location in India, let's take the Bangalore. You are trying to predict the prices of the houses in different region in the Bangalore itself. You know, you should be knowing about the data. Okay, this data I should be aware of. Let's suppose you are taking the data that what is the locality, okay, and how many number of rooms are there, how much BHK basically,
Hmm.
what is
Hmm.
the area, okay, crime rate maybe, okay, and like which is it's near to market or not, or maybe some facilities you might be looking for,
Hmm.
lots of things that basically you will check. In that case, area is not given, area of the house is not given, you don't you are not aware, but height and length is the given, that okay, this is the length of the plot that you are going to purchase, or land you are going to purchase. And another, you sorry, length and width, not height, length and width. If it's empty, then you might be given length and width, okay, of that property. You have to do the feature engineering. You have cleaned the data, you have visualized the data, you have to do the feature engineering. How will you do that? Is there any possibility I can actually create some new feature rather than keeping the length and width together? Basically, suppose if you know about the length and you know about the width, can you calculate the area? Can you calculate the area if you length and width is given? By calculating the area, you will just remove the length and width, both the things, and you will just keep the area. So what are the benefits of doing this? Two features I have removed and I have just kept one feature, so that it is beneficial for me to process the data. Second thing, an area can give me the direct hint. Okay, I would say that it is a 800 square feet, I can get it very easily, rather than if someone says it's a 25 by 40. Okay, so this is how it creates a difference. When I'm saying the feature engineering, you have to identify based on the problems, that okay, like let's suppose it's also sometimes it's biased as well, like if the crime rate is high, okay, might be might be, I won't say, like it's quite obvious that you won't purchase a land where the crime rate is very high. But if when it comes to safety, maybe for females it's a priority rather than as a male. Okay, in general it is taken. So here the results are little biased. So what I mean to say, in the feature engineering, it's not just a mathematical analysis that you have to do every time. You have to basically do the domain analysis, and that's the reason sometimes the prices of the property increases or decreases based on the external factors that are not being considered while calculation or while mathematical calculation. Grouping by zone will eliminate as well. Sometimes yes, some maybe some people prefer it in the nearby location to their office. Okay, maybe there is a very low price at some land at one particular year, but after 10 years there is a tech park at that place. Maybe after 10 years the prices will be very high, and that's what happened in the Bangalore, right? So basically we have to think in almost all direction while doing the feature engineering. It's not like generally what I have seen, especially the freshers, even I have also done the same thing. We just see, okay, I have applied some feature analysis engineering technique, or maybe feature selection technique, and I have figured out, okay, five or six features are important, let's take it and put it in the machine learning model. No, 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 this is the worst thing that you can ever do. You have to analyze, okay, I have got these five features to actually work with, why these five features, okay, and is it necessary to keep all those five features, or manually also I can remove something or not. Okay, so you have to take care of everything, and this part becomes very crucial when it comes to data visualization or feature engineering. Data wrangling is generally a mathematical process, so there things does not matter much. Is this clear? Is this clear? She say yes or no. Okay. Okay, that's cool. So now let's understand the data wrangling in detail. Then I'll ask you a question at the end of the session, okay? And you have to tell me everything as per your understanding. I'm not going to ask any technical question, but what you understood, or for data scientist, what is the most important thing? If you want to be a data scientist, you should be able to make the decisions. If you are not able to make the decisions by your own, there is no point of learning anything, because in the company it's easy to get the job, okay, but if you learn how to make the decisions with the data, then you can do freelancing, you can take any project, and like all the companies are always ready to take you in, because this is what that people actually are lacking in. Okay, so and most important thing I would say, how the decision making comes actually, this comes with the data analysis, with the EDA part. Machine learning model also includes, I'm not denying with that fact, but 80% work is done if you are doing the right data analysis. Okay, so let's see data wrangling. Data wrangling is the process of cleaning, structuring, enriching the raw data. If I go with the formal definition, this is what we do. But let's see, if I say that, okay, what is the data wrangling process actually includes. Suppose you have actually duplicates, you have to remove that, you have to remove the missing values, you have to basically check the data types to process it with the Python. And also sometimes maybe there are some error in the data columns, okay, like maybe the prices are there, okay, $2000 is there, it's written in the string, you have to convert it into some number basically, or maybe dates are given, okay, dates can't be treated as a normal device, or sorry, normal column. So basically that also you have to convert it into date time. For everything Python libraries are available, so you don't need to worry about it. So these things you have to take care. Now in the data wrangling, okay, now let's talk about the data visualization and statistical analysis. I'm pretty sure all of you have studied the data statistical analysis, we all do. So have you, like, are you aware of null hypothesis and t-test, significance test, lots of terms, Gaussian distribution, and binomial distribution, Poisson distribution, lots of things you have heard, right? Anyone has any idea about any of these things? Theoretically, I'm saying, I'm not saying how to correlate it with data science, I'm just saying that, are you aware of these concepts so far? Oh yeah, people are a little bit aware. Okay, so like I tell you this, I always ask in the interview, in any data science interview, people are aware about the statistical test, but they don't know when I have to do the data analysis, how to apply. Basically, how would you apply null hypothesis to your data? How will you apply a particular test in your data? How will you actually use statistics to your data? Or maybe not just data, about the problem statement. Would you, anyone would like to convey your thoughts? If you would be at that place, how would you use null hypothesis or any of the test of the statistics? Any thoughts? At least try something, no? We choose variation path. I'm not getting what is variation path. What is variation path? Okay. I tell you, I give you one example, one very good example over here. Let's say that you are saying, statistics, how does it help? Basically it helps us to conclude over the whole population to the complete data. So what I do, let me give you one very basic example. And remember, this question was asked to me in one of the interview, because that guy who has taken my interview was a statistician. So these people really ask such kind of questions every time. This is okay. I am not telling you the answer upfront, I'm just telling you the problem. Suppose you have only 25 to 26 people of data. You have to do or you have to basically run a campaign over the Facebook, where you want to just check that how many people are actually interacting with the particular campaign or with the particular ad, and what time. Because if you know the time, okay, if you know that most of the people are actually interacting uh, at daytime or maybe in the lunch time, so you will try to optimize or spend more money at that time. You would like to target those kind of people who are available at the same time, right? So here, because you have just 25 people of the data, right, you don't have long enough data to apply any machine learning model or any deep learning model. So in that case, what will you do? How will you actually identify that what is the pattern? How will you know that this particular time I should actually work on, or I should actually put the campaign on? If you have very less data, like 25 or 30 people data you have. Hmm. Okay. Okay. One person has answered that we have to select the distribution. This is correct. We have to check actually how my data is underlying, or how my data is actually following which path. So basically what you have to do is, you have to see that which this type of distribution my data follows. You don't need to go to the machine learning or deep learning or any big models. Okay, this problem can directly be solved with the help of statistics, that is like a Poisson's distribution, which can give me actually most of the population. Out of 25 people, most of the people are actually visiting the Facebook page or your ad at that particular time. You just have to uh, check that if your data follows Poisson distribution. If so, then you have to just apply that distribution and extrapolate. Okay, this is how we do apply statistics. Also, if you want to actually analyze the relationship between categorical variables, which is different from the numerical variables, then also we use statistical test or null hypothesis. Have you heard about chi-square test? If you have heard, this is the only test that we use for analysis of categorical variables. Okay, so this is how statistics is actually used. It can give us maximum in average, so that I can say, okay, most of the people are interested in buying this product, let's buy. Okay, or maybe most of the people are not interested, then we will figure out what is the reason behind it, and there is some changes or some improvement is needed. Okay, any questions so far till this point? Okay, no questions. So let's talk about the feature engineering. Feature engineering generally consists of two parts. Okay, feature selection and feature engineering. What is the difference? If we are transforming the feature, as I have said, like we are actually trying to find out the area with the help of length and the width. Okay, so we are transforming the feature. We are not keeping the original feature. We are deleting the original features, and we are just highlighting the new developed feature or transformed feature. So sometimes to remove the features or to basically reduce my data dimensions, we do the feature engineering so that we can have minimum features and it can actually help us to build the machine learning model. Okay, so this is what we do in the feature engineering. There are feature selection also. Out I have done the feature engineering. I have transformed the features. But now next question is like, how would I select? So actually there are multiple selection algorithms are there for the feature selection. Like you can do backward feature selection. I tell you what is backward feature selection. So suppose if you are actually uh, you are having around 20 to 30 features together, so you want to know that which feature is the most important one. So what will you do? You will just pick out one feature, and then one feature you will keep with you, then pick the second feature and check that if I keep two feature then accuracy was the high, or when I keep only one feature then accuracy was high. Okay, similarly you can keep picking up features one by one and check the accuracy every time. If it has improved while after picking up one feature, then it means it worked. Okay, it means that feature has to be kept. If the accuracy is not improved, then I'll discard that feature. Okay, anyway that feature is not contributing at all. Okay, so this is one way. This is called forward feature selection. Another way of feature selection is like I'll keep all the features together and just remove one by one. Every feature I'll remove one by one. I would say I can do one thing. 30 features, I'll check. Okay, what is the accuracy? Now remove one feature, then check accuracy. Then again remove one feature, then check accuracy. This is called backward feature selection. This is called, yes, it is similar to model selection. This is model selection only. Okay, you mean to say model selection means machine learning model selection? Are you talking about the machine learning model selection? It is similar to model selection. It is exactly similar to machine learning model selection. Okay, we anyway, when I say you are going to check the accuracy, you did not ask me how would you check the accuracy. You are at the data analysis step right now. You have not applied any machine learning model, then how will you check the accuracy? And if you are checking the accuracy, don't you think it's like you have already applied the model? Okay, so it's not like that. When we have to check the accuracy, we are either using random forest regressor or linear regressor. Yes, anyway we are going to apply modeling only in that as well, but uh, this is not like we are not doing the optimization, we are not doing anything else. We are just checking or keeping the features, and everything else we are going to keep the constant. Okay, so this is how do we select the features. There are other methods as well. If we do analyze or study it in detail, then only we can understand this part better. Okay. Mm. Okay, so now we have a very overview, like very vague overview, I would say, to understand it. That how do we actually perform the business, or how do we actually understand or take the business problem? Okay, now let me give you one problem statement. Please answer me to of that question. Okay, suppose what happens. Suppose you are actually going for a freelancing project. Okay, and you are working as a data scientist. There is one client that comes to you. Suppose I come to you that okay, I'm running my startup. You are a data scientist, and can you please help me with few things that I have seen that these are the few campaigns that I have run since last few months. But I have noticed that there was no campaign effective. Like I'm running my courses and there was no campaign it was effective. And I just want to increase my sale. That's what I say to you, right? Can you please suggest me that which marketing strategy should be the best for me? I would like to ask this question here. Did I tell you that it's a classification or regression problem? I did not tell anything. I did not talked about data. I did not talk about anything. The only thing that I talked about is like, this is my problem. Can you please help me to make the best marketing strategy? And this is how a client approaches to us. And we have to figure it out by our own, what this problem is about. So any idea? If you would like to let me know. This is a classification, this is a regression, or if you are the person with whom I am approaching to, how would like to actually take care of this problem? Just a basic understanding I'm asking.
I think this is a regression problem because its objective is to improve my sales, and sales going to in the numerical numbers, or it may be continuous.
So
Suppose,
how it can be a regression problem if you say that sales are going to improve, right? Sales are in the number.
hmm,
But am I telling, basically, you mean to say, you are saying that I am saying today my sale was $39,000. Then after a certain time, I want to predict that the sale will be $50,000, something like this.
yes,
But
yes,
here,
yes,
in that case, you want to know the which marketing strategy is working best. Here, what with the regression, if you take it as a regression problem, don't
hmm,
you think you are actually predicting the sale,
yes,
not
yes,
marketing strategy? In that case, one more thing, you are taking the assumption if marketing strategy is good, then sale will be higher. Sale is directly proportional to marketing strategy. That this assumption you are taking unknowingly, right? But this is not always true, na? Sale and marketing are closely related but different.
okay.
And also, until and unless I have the sales number exactly, okay, these many sales are there, I can't actually directly say, I can't say directly that okay, if, these are the sales from the past, and after applying this particular marketing strategy, say sale will be higher. Marketing strategy just can help me with the number, that how many people are actually aware of your product, how many people know about it. It's not necessary that people will actually buy it. I'm just confusing or nothing else. I'm just confusing you. Actually, yes, this is true. The sales and marketing are not closely related, but sorry, not directly related, but these are very closely related. If marketing, if I'm saying I'm making a good marketing strategy, it means the indirect purpose is like to increase the sale. Okay, but I can't exactly rely on the fixed numbers. I can't predict it directly, so it's not a regression problem. It's like I'm saying figure out which marketing strategy is best. It means there are certain marketing strategies that I might be following, and I want to know out of them, out of the campaigns that I have run, which will be the best suitable for my particular problem. So basically this problem will come under a classification problem. Okay, and one more thing. This happens a lot, even happened with me as well. Sometimes it's not necessary that a problem can be classified directly as a classification or regression. Sometimes it's a pattern matching, sometimes it's a recommendation, sometimes it's similarity. Okay, there are different types of problems. It's not like the machine learning can only solve these two types of problem, either classification or regression. Sometimes even if you have heard about convolution neural network, CNN, if I talk about, the result is something else. Okay, at the end we convert it into the classification or object detection or whatever we want. Okay, this is how it works. So Okay, I understood first of all that it is a classification problem. What next? What questions you will be asking me if I would like to give this project to all of you? Or maybe which questions you which answers you actually need to solve this problem? You might be needing the data. That okay, you will say to the client that please provide me the data first. Okay, after the data, you might be knowing that okay, even after the data there are certain particular things that I might be aware. Okay, I have the data of the campaign that that person has run before and that were a failure. So I would like to know that okay, what product was sold in that campaign, for how long it was run, what was the target audience, okay, and through what channels it was communicated, and maybe the outcome of those campaigns overall. Okay, the dates, maybe the months, maybe some festival was going around or not, is that online sale, offline sale, or maybe through some in store franchisees. Okay, or even when I'm doing the sale of a particular, even suppose if someone is selling the retail things, right, or like there is a grocery shop, then also you might be wondering about so many things like in the grocery also what are the particular thing that the person is selling. So every detail you need first. Okay, so I have taken that detail, that's a client's responsibility to provide me everything. Now what next? Anyone? I've taken the details. Just now I discussed. I've taken the data. Now what next?
Mostly we need to create some features, variables,
Yes.
and suppose if we extract data or if we collect the data. So as a business perspective, the required variables we need.
Yes.
So as per depend on the business or stakeholders, we need to create some variables that predict or to support to my sorry to predict to my dependent variable. So mostly related. We are searching the which variables or which features are mostly correlated with my output. So we have
Correct.
just check it.
Correct. So basically, you are going to first figure out okay what variables are needed, what features are needed. After that, you will check the correlation.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so that okay, this feature is actually related or relevant for my prediction or not. Once you will this or everything will come under data wrangling process. After that, I'll try to visualize okay that what happened in the past few campaigns exactly, were all they were decreasing or they decreasing or increasing again, so kind of fluctuating they were. What was the output, what was the product that was sold the most, and what was the product that was sold the least. Okay, and why? Okay, this is called diagnostic analysis you would like to figure out. After that, after conclusion, after this complete conclusion, you will actually get to know that this is the particular analysis I have done, and now I know that this product was sold the most. So let's do one thing, we can sell this product again with the most of the quantities, and which product which was sold the least, I can say that that product was actually not performing. So I can see the feedbacks, okay, I can see the reviews, and based on the reviews and feedback I can figure out okay that I can improve, basically that there are certain problems with that product, I can improve and launch it again. Okay, so this is how a data analysis helps overall. Is this clear? Any questions so far? Okay. So people have replied no. Okay, so this is all I would wanted to discuss in this data analysis part, majority, that how do we do the data analysis, what are the major areas, how do you take the problems, and what questions you can actually answer. This is the example that I have taken. This is a marketing problem, that these are the things, like I would suggest you to one thing, like if you are doing the data analysis, first list out the answers that you want from that data analysis at the end, and accordingly apply the steps rather than just applying a random steps. Okay, so which age group, maybe which gender, what country, like it depends on the data, what data I have. Okay, so yeah, so this is all I wanted to cover in today's class. If you have any questions, you can let me know. I think it's over early, as very less questions I faced today. If you have any doubts, questions, you can let me know. Okay, no questions, I think. Okay, then if you want, you can ask me on the LinkedIn as well, or you can definitely send me a mail if you have any questions again or later on. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you.